Right, we're back for part 4. Woo! Today it's just going to be brushing things up, getting things sanded down, and just getting things nice and smooth. So as you can see from where we've done the cuts, things are a little bit jagged at the moment, and we just want everything to be sitting nice and flush. So lots to do. We've got all these, each end, there's 12 of these little pieces that we cut in the last video, and then 12 of these little pieces over here as well. So I've got my carpentry workbench set up, well, not quite set up, but I've got it out with us today, and that should just take a bit of pressure off my back. So we'll see how it goes. I'll get the tripod and everything set up. I'll show you just a few bits, and then I'll probably do a big old time lapse. So yeah, let's give it a go. Right, so today we're going to be working with some different discs. So you can see these are very different compared to the cutting disc we have here. Also, look at that cutting disc now. I think it was probably about out here yesterday. So we definitely used that very nicely. The floppy discs we've got, they all come in different grades. See, that says 80 there. This is 120 grit, 60 grit and 40 grit. So my assumption is that the higher the grit, the stronger it's going to be. So I'm going to start off just with the lowest one. Because the cuts are all pretty precise, we're not looking to take loads of metal off, we're just looking to clean them up. So I'm going to get that changed now. The workbench is so, which is quite nice as well, because it has if I lift that up a bit, you might be able to see. Alright, let me just bring it around here. It has like a vice function to it, which is great because it means it's just going to hold it in place nicely for us. So I can come brush this side, brush that side, to swap it out and go for the next one. When it gets to the smaller pieces, I'm probably just going to have to do them by hand. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. Right, okay, we're ready. We've got the floppy disc on now, or the sanding disc. And I never have these plugged in whilst I'm changing the disc, and the reason for that is because I want, this one's a bit different. You have to like pull this trigger here, but I once stood on one and it had a bit of a different function, and it turned on whilst I was changing the disc. It fucking scared the life out of me. So I don't like to do that. I did actually bring some of the measuring equipment as well, just in case I need to do any bigger cuts, but I think everything was quite precise. But I will just do some double checks on things. So actually I need to probably go get my planner as well, just so I can do that. But yeah, I'm gonna just grab those bits, get that sorted, and then I'll be back and we can start having a sand on this. Okay, so I've got the planner here. This just reminds me, because I've got all my pieces labelled, which is really handy. So I don't have to remeasure anything to know what it is. I know, okay, that's number 1, so that relates to this part of the box section here, which is, it means it's one of the legs. So you can double check that as well. If we want to do that, just grab the tape. And if it's one of the legs, it'll be 925mm. And there we go, 925mm. So it is a little bit over. So we'll maybe just sand that back until it's exact. So we just want to shave. We want to shave 2mm off that if we can. So let's get the gear on. Got the ear defenders again, and the goggles, because again we don't want sparks in his eyes. Not fun. Not fun at all. Okay, let's try this then. So I'll shave a bit off, and then we'll have a check. Actually, I'll tell you what would be a good idea is we'll mark this. We'll mark it back 2mm, because then I know exactly where I need to shave up to. So I'll just get my gear for that for a sec. And get the smaller ruler. Come back 2mm. Right, let's mark that. that gives me a line to work with now. So I know I need to bring it back that far. And if I just check that line and go all the way around, I should have a good idea of where I need to go. Right, I think it's time. Let's have a go. Oh, see, that is just so lovely now. But it is taking a while to get it back to where I need to. So I'm actually just going to change the disc out. I'm going to change it to one that's a bit thicker, and we're going to see how much more effective that is. So we'll test the theory now. If it's a higher number, I think it will go through it quicker. So let's see. You know, I'm actually just looking at the grades without even using it now. Just by looking at this, and this actually seems a lot finer, which to me means it's going to take off less as quick. But since this is so slow, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go get my other grinding disc, and I'll be able to introduce that to you today, and that'll go through it a lot faster. You know what? I've just decided I'm not going to do that. This is the thing, when you're doing projects like this, you're constantly having new ideas, and that's what I love about it. I love how creative it is. I'm going to go to a medium grade sanding pad, and I'm just going to sand it down, because the thing is, all these legs are actually at the same height. They're all a couple mil out. They're all 927 mil, which I'm absolutely fine with. If they're all, the main thing is the legs are the same height. So if it's a couple mil out, it's not a problem. So I'm going to get a medium grade sanding pad stuck on. We're going to get these legs sanded, and then I think we'll be good for them. You know, I'm actually just looking at the grades without even using it now. Just by looking at this, and this actually seems a lot finer, which to me means it's going to take off less as quick. But since this is so slow, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go get my other grinding disc, and I'll be able to introduce that to you today, and that'll go through it a lot faster. You know what? I've just decided I'm not going to do that. This is the thing, when you're doing projects like this, you're constantly having new ideas, and that's what I love about it. I love how creative it is. I'm going to go to a medium grade sanding pad, and I'm just going to sand it down, because the thing is, all these legs are actually at the same height. They're all a couple mil out. They're all 927 mil, which I'm absolutely fine with. If they're all, the main thing is the legs are the same height. So if it's a couple mil out, it's not a problem. So I'm going to get a medium grade sanding pad stuck on. We're going to get these legs sanded, and then I think we'll be good for them. So I just wanted to show you, this is what the sanded box section looks like now. Can you see how much cleaner that is? Now if you have little flaky bits going on the inside, that's fine, because we're going to have, where are they? We're going to have these little things sat on the edge here, so anything that's on the inside doesn't really matter, as long as we've got a nice flat edge to stick these onto. And as you can see, these bits, they need sanding down as well. So there's lots of work to do. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick it on a time lapse now. I'm going to fly through it, because World Cup finals on shortly. I've got places to be, but I'm also not going to rush it. I'm going to take my time and make sure I'm happy with things, make sure I'm measuring things and checking things. But yeah, it should just be one big ass time lapse now. If anything crops up, then I will pause the video to, you know, mention whatever it is that needs to be mentioned. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. Well, it seemed to have run out, my phone seemed to have run out of storage for a moment there, so I am just going to reposition a little bit and get that time lapse going again. So we've done 4 legs so far, flying through it. This is easy stuff, this. And now we're on to doing the lengths. So each time I'm just like having a quick measure, checking against the design, make sure it's the right length. If it's too far off, then I can cut it down a bit. Either doing that with a sander or a grinding disc. So if that does happen, then I will, you know, stop the video just to show that different disc off, because it's a lot thicker and stronger, and it's really meant for just like busting through metal. So yeah, on with the time lapse, and yeah, I'll see you on the next little bit. Right, so all of the box section is now sanded. Some bits needed just cutting down a little bit, so rather than changing the blade to a cutting disc, I just swapped over to a I don't know how do you describe it, I guess like a denser grade. It's probably not how you say it. I just changed the sanding grade so that it would burst through the metal quicker, which meant that I didn't need to go get a proper grinding disc. These are all looking nice and clean now. Not necessarily perfect, but I'll just spin it around so you can have a look. As you can see, looking loads better. Oh, better be careful, I've not got the gloves on. And see, it's okay if it's going on the inside. This bit here is not perfect, but that's all right. Looking nice and clean. So yeah, now that those bits are done, we can move over to the bits, the smaller bits. And so yeah, we can move on to these bits now. We've got the angle to cut, sand, and then same with these little pieces of flat bar here. Right, so I've got the angle on the table. I've got the little 20mm bits of flat bar. I'm just going to record this, not slow motion, but not in a time lapse for a bit, just so you can get an idea. I'll do one of the pieces of angle, I'll do one of the pieces of flat bar, and then I'll probably time lapse it again. So let's have a go. Bring it nice and close to the camera as well, just for this one, so you can see. So. Now we'll do the flat bar. Just do one piece of this. Okay, so that's the process. We'll time lapse that now, get all these bits done, and then we'll be good for today. Well, it really is no joke doing this kind of work. Like, you have to pay so much attention because look at that. Whoo, close call. The sander went and touched my glove. That was a little bit terrifying. But it's all come out looking really nice. Nice smooth edges. Which is exactly what we want. I hope that demonstrated that nice. You can see the angles there. Flip that around. There we go. So that is all of the sanding done for all of the cuts. So I'm really pleased with that. Now everything's cut, everything's sanded. Really, it's all ready to start getting put together and welded now. So I need to do a bit of training to get my welding skills up to scratch, because I don't want to start on this and basically fuck up my pieces. So the next videos that are going to be incoming are not going to be on this project. They're basically going to be about me learning how to weld. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about that yet, but I'm going to work it out, and there'll be a new video very soon. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.